Your thoughts about what we've heard? It's only been a couple days, but in regards to what you've heard, because I'm certainly going to follow up with a few things that I've seen online.
Yeah, man. Basically, you just work in the off season. That's when growth really happens. It's not on game day. And, you do have those guys who are gamers and they turn it on when the lights are on. But, the work that you do when nobody's watching, that's the work that really affects what happens on the field. Later, if you've ever done anything that's performative, like I said, I used to be a choir director and everything. Yeah, being on stage is great, but, you've got to put in that time in that lab beforehand to really grow. And I think that we're seeing that, or having reports of that from everybody. Or lots of guys at the University of Miami going through not Jay Feely, Coach Feely. I forget his first name now, but the weight program and everything, really transforming players' bodies. You have guys gaining weight. Mike Harley played last season at around 170. He's up to 183, 185 ish. You got guys like Corey Flagg Jr., your linebacker wearing number 11, who was 240 pounds and, 18 to 20% body fat, a little chunky. And, in my current body composition, I understand how that goes, brother. But looking slim and trim and in shape, down in the mid-teens in terms of body fat. He's dropped some of that baby weight and everything, and really looking slim and trim. Got other guys. DJ Ivy just continues to look like a monster. Jafari Harvey has gained, 12, 13 pounds and is at 4% body fat or something just ridiculous and things like that. So you just really are starting to see, and, with guys getting on the field, there's pictures and video. And so you're really seeing them in their uniforms, in pads and things, and they look different. Now, we'll see, because, of course, every spring, everybody's in the best shape of their life. They're the strongest they've ever been. They're the leanest they've ever been. All these kind of things that we see, over off seasons in pro sports and things like that. But seeing that bodies are changing in that kind of a way is a positive. Because, there were some guys who needed to reshape their bodies a little bit. And we're seeing those kind of things happen. So that's the number one thing for me. Also, just, seeing the opportunities that there are for guys to step up on the field. Obviously, we're only 3 days in, so that's the 2 days of helmets only with shorts and T-shirts, or shirts and jerseys, shorts and jerseys, sorry. And then 1 day of pads, which was today, because you had to have the 2-day acclimation period. So we're not really getting too far down the line, but, we are seeing some guys, I think, maybe take some strides forward, and just working with their opportunities. So, yeah, I mean, I know that we're probably going to talk about them in specific, but those are the kind of things that are really standing out. And again, the other thing, the biggest move, one of the biggest moves for this program in the offseason was Manny Diaz taking the keys back on defense. And we've already had players talking about him being the defensive coordinator again, calling the defense and things like that, which, hey, look, if that's what you had to do to get the defense where it needs to be, then that's what you had to do. And I think that we're already seeing positive results from that, and we just need to keep that forward. Yeah, Miami is back, George. Thanks.
I am going to go, Cam, the coaching route before we go the player route, because I was looking at something on 247 Sports where I believe 2 Miami defensive players in particular were shouting the praises of Bob Shoop and his work as a defensive analyst.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a guy you add with 30 years of coaching experience. He's seen the things that you're going to see. He's done the things that hopefully you're going to be able to do. And the wisdom of age and experience is able to inform those who just don't have those things necessarily. So, it's just, when you're talking about, just schemes and, examples and, scenarios and things like that, like Shoop has been there and coached it. Whether it was, himself as a defensive coordinator or position coach, just around the various programs and staffs, like he's been there, and along with Todd Stroud, who's in an advisory position now, those are the guys who are the most veteran coaches. So yeah, you just have a guy who knows a lot and has done, excellent job at many, many institutions. His name because of his prior working history. And then he's just a guy that you can go to and say, hey, we're looking at this. And you can talk schematically too. If you're a defensive back, like, a couple of these guys are talking about, hey, they're trying to run this, this route combo, and we're in this coverage, and, I don't know. And then it's, oh, well, back in 1994, I was coaching against da-da-da-da, and their coach did something like that. And so we coached our players to look and see for this key and thing. Da-da-da. So he has those examples to pull from. Again, like I said, I was a teacher before. And my first year teaching was survival. And I didn't even have a bag to put any tricks in. And that was the first thing. I had to knit this bag for these metaphorical tricks to teach, because you might be able to teach it the one way, and people might get it, but there's going to be other ways. And if the way that you're doing it doesn't work, you don't have anything to fall back on. Bob Shoop has a warehouse full of bags and tricks. So he can go to a specific thing. It looks like, something out of Minority Report or the Great Library from Game of Thrones. He can go and find the exact game, the exact play, the exact coach, the exact everything, and use that history and knowledge and wisdom to inform these players. And that is such a great benefit because of, again, just demonstrated performance. And the other thing that he has over the course of a long career, in addition to these successes, are the failures, which will help inform and hopefully move forward. Because it's like, okay, well, I tried to do this and thought it was going to work, but it didn't. So if you are thinking, hey, this would be the solution, or this would be the key that I'm going to read, or this is going to be the key thing that I'm going to do to combat whatever the offense is doing, I tried that and it didn't work. So let me save you that work and point you in a new direction. Okay, it's an invaluable resource, and I think that he's already paid dividends for the staff, and hopefully that will again continue to pay dividends on the field in the spring. So we have these guys who are improving their performance and knowledge now to then also improve their performance and knowledge moving further forward when the lights are on in the fall.
As opposed to, as you outlined, coaching in your first year, your first season, your first experience as a coach or instructor or teacher, then you are coaching by the book. Thus the cliche, coaching by the book. That's all you got is the book. You got the book and you got your experience, your personal experience, and that's it to draw from. And then if you're really good, then you grab that bag, as Cam mentioned, and then you start to say, oh, yeah, that's right. I had to deal with that 3 months ago. And that kid is similar to him. So,
right. I mean, exactly. Oh, they're running smash against cover 3. And it was okay. But then we tried to, okay, what if we did? All right, so we're just going to have that. So then the next time they're running smash against cover, but they're going to try to run mesh against man, but they're always going to do that. But then if we go instead of 4-3, we have the 4-2-5 with the striker, and we have this. And then we kind of bring the guy down as a robber in that close area for the crossers for the mesh. And it's just one of those things where you just start adding, so you have more answers because the offense is always going to give you questions, for your defense. If you're going to run something, we're going to try to have something that beats that man beater, zone beater, whatever that is. And then you build in these other things. This is where zone blitzes came from. You know what I mean? Where you're covering your blitzing and you're thinking man to man because, okay, cool, I'm going to have a hot read and this is going to be open. But then we're going to put a guy in a short zone where you're going to look for that hot read and things like that. So it's just, again, all of that, building that library of ideas and solutions. And Bob Shoop has a lot of those. And, like I said, I think it's already helping guys. And I think that it's going to continue to help as long as it's been here or going to be here.